Okay, all right. Aloha, everyone. My name is Shwen Butler, and I am the creator of Journaling Sisters, and I am very happy to be with you here today. And welcome to day 3 of our 5-day journaling challenge. And welcome to anyone that is here live. If you're here live with me, please type something in the chat. I would love to know that I am not talking to myself in the moment. And thank you for those of you who are watching the replay later. So welcome. And Journaling Sisters is a safe space for women to come together and pause and reflect on your life and to find support and inspiration in one another and through our connections, and support each other on our spiritual journey and on our self-discovery journey. So bear with me a little bit. I'm still getting used to the live. There's a lot of me's I'm looking at right now, but let's see. So I will first dive into the prompt. And feel free also, if you have a question and you want to throw it in the chat, I will try to check that later. And the question for today is, what are 3 of your favorite places in the world where you feel most yourself? I'll say that again. Where are 3 of your favorite places in the world where you feel most yourself? And I really like this question because I don't know about you, but I have definitely felt like an outsider at many points in my life, or like one of those fish bubble aquariums where you're on the outside looking in, or you're just silently wishing, trying to fit in, or hoping that no one notices how different that you feel, all of these things. And I just really want to treasure in those precious moments. And one way to honor that is to journal about where you feel most you feel most at home, which I think is another great keyword to think about. So it can be anywhere in the world, it can be a city, it can be your favorite spot in the summertime by the lake, any place where you feel the most you, and kind of also like when you come home from a really long day and you feel like you're just kind of like taking off the mask from your face and just getting to go blah at home on the couch, and just where can you be like that? So let you journal on that afterwards. And the other topic I just wanted to brush on today is a little bit more, more deeper, advanced, necessarily advanced, maybe a little bit more deeper, getting into our emotions. But I just wanted to talk about the idea about women being hard on ourselves, because I think that is a very common theme, and that is something that I certainly struggle with very often, and kind of popped up today as well. But the idea of us being our biggest, harshest critics, and where does that come from? And I think a big source of that really is from the past, and whether it's from very early on, whether it's from even things that you can remember or not. And a lot of times we don't remember as much as, you might be surprised how much we don't remember. And that's okay. And a lot of times you might start writing about something and things will start popping up in your memory, and that's great. But so this idea that we can be harder on ourselves than anyone else, really, and the most important thing isn't what other people might think or judge about us, but it's still really what we hold on to in ourselves, because at the end of the day we're in our own minds, right? And the same idea as, do we need someone else to love us, or do we need to love ourselves first and foremost, the most? So I think that's something that's also really good to delve into in our journals. And all of these questions, I always say, it's not necessarily about the answers, but really about asking the right questions, asking questions that really get you to think and delve into your feelings more, and try to gain more perspective and self-awareness about issues or patterns that you're trying to overcome, old trauma and circumstances, things that you want to work through. And it really doesn't matter what I say or someone else says to you. It's still what we hold on to in our minds. And I call these patterns that kind of run over and over in our minds, and that we cling onto as feeling like they're really us. And I have really learned over the years. I have been part of a pretty intense counseling. It's a counseling and activist organization, and also talking about oppressions pretty deeply as well. And I was a little distracted by, I think it sounds like sounds of gunshots or something, always very distracting to me. Anyways, I'm in Maine right now, so that I was talking about patterns that we cling onto and we feel like are us, but really are just barnacles, if that's the right word, or I don't know, like leeches, or it's just this this rut that we've gotten into, that we feel very familiar, but is just an old habit that we picked up a long time ago, that's not necessarily true to who we really are underneath. So all that being said, I don't want to overwhelm you too much with too much of this in-depth talk, but just to go back to reiterate my point that being hard on ourselves is really something that is possible to work through, and it's something that I still need to continually also keep working through as well. But progress is still progress, and any little bit counts. So I think I will wrap up with some journaling tips for beginners, because I know a lot of you out there watching, and a lot of my journaling sisters are either new to journaling or have not journaled in a long time. And I always say that is totally a-okay. That's fabulous. It's so great that you got yourself here, and just taking the first step, getting back into journaling, um, is just fabulous. And a lot of us might have journaled when we were younger, maybe when we were very young, or high school or college age. And I think also that's probably a time when we had more time on our hands, right? And felt like it was okay to take the time to do something more creative and more, spiritual or self-care, and before you get into all the our full-time jobs and just our go busy lives. So and but it's especially important when we're older as adults to um, also take the time to slow down and reflect and just have that time to step back, and really see, where am I at in my life right now, and really thinking about the different areas in your life, and professionally, personally, in your relationships, with family, with girlfriends, and really looking at the different areas and seeing if you are happy with where you are in there, and if there are things that you would like to tweak, or if there are things that you really want to take a sharp right turn on, and someplace where you've been really unhappy about, and really looking closer at that. So that's why journaling is so important. And the other tip that I always like to emphasize is really trying not to censor yourself as much as possible. And I know that comes up a lot with women, and don't feel bad if that's what happens. Just when that noise, when that voice pops up saying like, oh, you shouldn't be so negative Nancy, is that what they call it? Or you shouldn't be so whiny and complaining and things like that. Just you can listen to it for a split second, and then I like to think of it as a radio dial that you're just like turning the volume, literally turn the volume down on, and just say, okay, and I am just going to keep moving on, and just continuing writing down your feelings, and your thoughts about how it's going at work or at school, or a conflict that you've been trying to figure out, and that you're just getting stuck on, or a relationship that keeps going in an unhealthy cycle for you, and you're just getting really stuck with it. So the more you write, the easier it will flow, I promise. And the last thing I will say to leave you with is having a 10-minute timer, and literally just pulling out a timer, and just say, okay, all I need is 10 minutes, and I will sit down with my hot drink and my journal and my favorite pen, and maybe light a candle, and I will just write until the timer goes off. And that way, just feeling, not too much pressure, and whenever the timer goes off, you can just say, okay, I'm done, and that's it. Or you can feel free to keep writing. So I think that is it for today. And if you have any questions, feel free to add it in the comments below as well, and I will definitely check on those. And I look forward to seeing you in day 4 and day 5. Happy journaling, happy writing, and just take it one step, one page, one day at a time. Okay, take care. Bye.